Hi everyone, Colin Shadwell back for my fourth vase of this outside throwing series. Got the wheel outside on a gorgeous day and got a lot of work done. So this is vase number 4 that I've thrown here. I would say I have about maybe 7 pounds of clay on this vase, and I'm trying to go for kind of a rounded, kind of bulbous shape, but with more of a wide opening. Usually I have a lot of these vases and they come to a very small tapered opening at the top. And I'm going to try to leave this one wide. So it's kind of be almost like a bowl that's tapered in a little bit. So you can see as I'm throwing here, I'm already starting to round this out a little bit. And then using the rib tool on the inside to just kind of smooth everything out. When you have a big wide open shape like this, you have to make sure that you get your finger marks smooth on the inside too, since the inside will be just as visible. When you're doing a tapered ones like the ones I do before with the small opening, it's not as critical, but on this one it has to be just as smooth on the inside as on the outside. Otherwise you'll have glaze issues later on. So I've got the general shape I want here. Now I'm going to go ahead and trim the top before I flip the thing over. So just make sure the top part's smooth. Again, hitting it with the rib tool. It's like that fine grit sandpaper. It really smooths everything out there. My daughter's running behind me again. And I'll go ahead and cut this off, flip it over, tap it shut. Now this has got a really thin top, so I have to be really careful when you put these little pieces of clay in. It's so important that you press the pieces of clay into the wheel first and then gently press it into the piece and not vice versa. One, if you press into the piece first, there's a chance you could knock it over. And two, you could easily break the piece if you press too hard. So be patient, be gentle, and don't press too hard. So now I'm make sure that you see me keep leaning back there. I always want to make sure that I'm looking at the overall shape of the piece and make sure I get a nice rounded circular kind of look to it. I don't want it to have any bumps or parts that seem to stick out. So you can see that the foot that I've carved there is also round and matches the overall shape of the vase. Got my texture patterns here. Of course, got to put my lines in. And then now I flipped it over and I've go ahead and start doing these carvings here. So I'm starting, instead of doing an oval, I'm starting with kind of like the opposite of oval. So this is like I don't know what you call a lens. My science classes are far away from me now. So convex or concave. I think these are concave shapes, maybe. I don't know. So I'm going to go ahead and make 4 of these and then see what I want to do with the space left in between. This is another one where I would just kind of looked at it and thought I'll just start with a simple shape. So I'm going to go ahead and put these shapes in between yet again to kind of make the positive space be kind of like these oval shapes left over, and the negative space is like the concave. I think it's concave. That's the word I'm looking for. So when I get these cut out, again, you want to make sure that you leave enough space that there's support. You don't want to get too thin. So I didn't want to make these too wide where there wouldn't be enough support to hold the top. The top is not very heavy, but I don't want to make it too fragile. So within these shapes, I'm going ahead and use my circle cutter to add some spots here, and I thought, well, since I've got the little one out too, I'll put these little 4 holes around it too, just for extra decoration as well, to kind of like add a little bit more negative space to it. When you're all done, this is what I've got. So I've kind of got this piece that it's got some cool negative spaces at the top and a cool texture at the bottom, very rounded over, and you can see the inside really well too. So it's a pretty nice piece. Thanks for watching.